Welcome everybody to another edition of the Honey Up. I'm your host Adam. Let's get into this. Preseason schedule is announced for the Giants. They will be playing the Patriots August 11th, 7 o'clock on Thursday. They will be playing the Bengals 7 o'clock on a Sunday, August 21st. And then August 28th, they will be playing the New York Jets at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So, August 11th, you get home. You get home from work, or if you're already home, you get whatever beverage and whatever meal you're getting ready and watch the preseason. I know. It's not going to be a great game. It's probably going to look like the USFL. Terrible. Okay? It's probably going to look terrible. But it's your first glimpse of football. It'll be your first glimpse of these guys and seeing who's making the team and who's progressing. And of course, your man Daniel Jones, he's got to play. I don't care. 1 quarter with these guys. Saquon Barkley is the only player on this roster that I would say you can sit and take a back seat. Don't even need to play. Because to me, I know what I'm going to get out of Saquon Barkley. He's an essential part of this offense and an essential part of the team. Now, you could say the same thing about Daniel Jones, but Daniel Jones was out last year. Didn't play a full season, right? Didn't play towards the end of the year. Barkley played more towards the end of the year. So what that means is Barkley still has game memory on his body left as Daniel Jones doesn't. Plus, Daniel Jones didn't play in the preseason last year, and look what happened to him coming out the gate. Right? He had a decent year, but I think the continuity needs to build, especially since you haven't played Galladay or Tony all at the same time at the field. I think having as many reps in the preseason will get this team going, especially with a new offense, because the terminology is going to be different. I don't expect them to run, all the plays in the playbook, but you're going to look for the formations, you're going to look for the penalties, you're going to look at the discipline and see how this team is manifesting on the field, because a lot of all the stuff now is great, rainbows and butterflies and all that, but it doesn't matter until they put the pads on against a different team. Not even put the pads on against your own team, put the pads on against Tennessee, and this will help them gear up, and this will help them. Players like Kayvon Thibodeau needs to play most of the preseason games. Evan Neal, same thing. You need the reps. I know you'll pull Andrew Thomas, or maybe you'll not even put him again. There's another guy I would say can sit and rest if you need him to, with the ankle coming off the ankle injury. That's another guy, because you know him. He's coming in. You know what he's going to give you. So those 2 guys are vital. I would even sit McKinney, because I don't need him. I don't need him in the preseason. I'm going to know what he is. But Daniel Jones can't sit. And because you're on notice, bro. You got to get this offense. You got to walk in. I listened to a podcast this morning. I know this is getting off topic a little bit, but listen to a podcast this morning, and someone ranked him the 21st quarterback in the NFL. The 21st. Out of 40 quarterbacks, he was 40. I don't know why. There's only 32 spots, but for whatever reason, this ranking was 40. And this person made him half of the quarterbacks. Technically, the back half of the starting quarterbacks, but that's not where you want to be. And I think he needs the reps to master this offense. I think he needs the reps to kind of grow. And I believe in playing in the preseason. And why? Because think about it like this. You ever tell a boxer to not spar, just train, and go fight? Go fight. You don't think he's going to come out rusty? Or she's going to come out rusty? They haven't sparred, they haven't grappled. All they did was train. But they didn't train against anybody. They didn't spar. They didn't do anything. All they did was hit a heavy bag and get into shape. And then they showed up on game day or fight night, and you're like, well, what is this crap? Stamina's not there. Punching power may not be there. The reflexes may not be there because those things weren't enhanced over time. So for me, it's like I need this team to play, because I don't want to hear this like we heard last year. Well, we didn't have preseason, so we're going to use the first 4 weeks to gear up. No, because that means you're already in the hole. This team needs to be 3-5, 4-4 out the gate. Out the gate in order to survive the second half of the year. Because the first half is brutal, but the second half has got some teams where they're winnable games, and you want to be headed in the right direction. You don't want to be 2-6. Or 3-5. 3-5 is the bare minimum the Giants can be after 5 games, after 8 games. 3-5. So it would behoove them to play this team and play. You don't want to play the Patriots for more than a quarter. Fine, But that team's got their quarterback. They don't need to worry about anything. They're not evaluating. They're just elevating. That's why the Patriots can do what they want. Giants are not elevating. Giants are building. So I know people are going to say, well, we don't need to start Daniel Jones or this, that, and the other thing. No, you start him, let him get his feet wet, because, again, he hasn't had contact since the middle of November. And you want to be able to take a few hits and get used to it, so he's not gun-shy come September 11th when the real bullets are flying and Bud Dupree's coming around the corner squaring him up. So it's exciting. I'm very excited. Looking forward to I want to see what they do in the Jet game, because that's usually a dress rehearsal going into the regular season. Being that they have 2 weeks to go, usually they play on Thursday. They have eliminated the Thursday game, right? Meanwhile, they have a Thursday game on August 11th and basically don't play for another 10 days after that. So that'll be interesting to see how that develops. But the Jet game on a Sunday afternoon on August 28th at MetLife Stadium, that's a good game for them to have, because I think it's gonna be 3 quarters of quality play, and then it's gonna be 2 weeks of rest time, which I think is perfect for this team. They need to play the three quarters, because you're not gonna hit anybody for another week and a half after that. So, and it'll give them some time to rest and come in, because that Tennessee Titans team, whether you want to admit it or not, they're looking at trying to get to the Super Bowl. And they're not going to, I don't think they're going to look at any team on their schedule as a cakewalk. And I would just love for the Giants to go in there, guns blazing, mentally prepared, and prepared enough to win a football game against a team they probably have a tough time against. But great news, August 11th, circle it. I'm circling it right now. First game of the new era. Let's go.